Strentax. I'm just streaming here some Everquest Next Landmark. Right now it's alpha, and you have to pay to get in, sadly, unless you're a developer or whatever. But yeah, this is pretty early, but I was in here in the game a little bit earlier when I had time, and I started doing some building, just playing around with the tools and everything. Pretty roughshod, to be fair, but you know, it's not too bad. You have to lay claim to your spot. You can't just build anywhere. So as you can see, I've got this giant cube is where I can build, and with whatever limited time I had, you have to do a lot of gathering to get your materials to build, but I just made something simple for now using those tools. And so there is progression in the game. The stuff that you see that's on the ground here are tools that you have to make by gathering the equipment for them. For example, if I click on this guy, this is the marble forge, which is the upgraded version of the forge, and as you can see, there's different ingots to make based on the metal. They generally all take 100 ore to make one ingot, and as you can see, I have the marble forge right now, but the amaranthine forge is the next one up, and I have nothing of that, so that's sort of where I stopped gathering. I might do some of that today. But you know, there's different tools you can build, and those are built into the progression as well, which is kind of funny. It's almost like an MMO Photoshop, if you will. There's better tools as you go. I have the selection tool that was sort of the top tier for or the top thing you could get at the previous tier. So the next one's to aim for is going to be the smooth tool, which I have no idea what it does, and a paint tool. So those all require you to go out and gather resources and build. So you have to spend the time to go get those materials, and of course the different higher level tiers of materials are gated by better picks. So you also have to gather and make your upgraded picks, which then lets you go and get better stuff, and then you come back and keep progressing. So it's kind of a grind, which is a little weird for a basically glorified Minecraft experience, but they're trying to make it something with some longevity. So with that being said, I think maybe I'll show you some tools, because that's kind of the cool part, and then I'm going to go gather, because probably you don't want to watch me gather, but if you want to see some tool work, now's a good time. So let's see. There are 3 basic tools you get that you start with, and you don't have to progress for. So the add tool is your general adding, so you can add 1 cube at a time with this tool if you wish. There are other ways to add, but I will get to that in a second. There's the heal tool, which attempts to sort of undo what you just did, but if you really want to undo, you can actually just hit Control Z, which works. But the heal is sort of a natural way of healing. So when you use the heal tool, it kind of tries to make a natural undo, if that makes any sense. And this is actually deleting the grass blocks that I made and restoring the previous ground, which is neat that it remembers all of that. But again, 1 cube at a time, a little inefficient. And then there's the delete tool, which does what it says. You highlight something and you click and it gets rid of it. This giant block is something I just made to quickly show my wife about the tools, but I guess I could do some deletion of that. Anywho, one of the things I had to progress for, and apparently is inferior, I don't know if that makes a difference, maybe it does, but it's kind of like your click and drag experience. So you can click and it makes a box or a prism essentially that can be moved around. This is your different axes to drag it where you want it. So you could go in or out, up or down, left or right. Additionally, you can expand the dimensions of that prism. So let me get this out of the block because I can barely see it. And then, so you can see how there's the faces, which you can select and expand if you wish. so that lets me expand the depth. Additionally, there's the corners, so you can click the corners and drag them as well. So now here's the cool part. So we had the add tool and we had the delete tool, and they were one cube at a time by themselves. But if you combine it with the select tool, then the whole thing you selected becomes an addition tool. So this is pretty powerful, and it lets you get large tasks done at once. On the other hand, you could delete the same selection and you can use it to carve out what you want to build. The way I did this house was I did basically selection tool for the walls themselves, made the box about what I wanted the wall to be, and then just used addition. You could, on the other hand, use a gigantic cube and then just carve out what you want. So it's sort of up to you how your building style would be. The other kicker here is that you need the materials to build what you're doing. So if you tried, for example, to make a gigantic, whoops, that's my chat box. So if you try to make a gigantic cube, or prism, I guess technically, don't yell at me. And, okay. And then you tried to do an addition. Before I click the button, I want you to see that on the left here, we have our materials that we're using to build with. Right now I have copper selected, which is probably something I don't want to be building with because I use it for other things. But you have different materials. You have your metals, you have your woods, and you have your stones. Stone is where your grass, dirt, stuff you don't really need. Spoilers, you actually need all this stuff, but I digress. If I pick grass, which is under the dirt family, you can see I have a lot to build with, 118,000 cubes, or voxels, I guess. However, here's the point. So I have this gigantic prism, and it's going to have a volume of 33 times 54 times 13 cubes to use up. So if I click once, I just used up over 20,000 dirt. So while it's kind of a cool idea to make a gigantic block and then carve away out of the material you're thinking, you might not have the material needed to get that done. So I'm just going to get, whoops. Yeah, you have to make sure the cube is selected, or the selection is highlighted, and then click the button to get rid of it all. So, I actually meant to point out earlier, but I wanted to share with you all that I was having a beer. It's the Pseudo Sue. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. And I got this as part of a beer trade, or a beer of the month club at a store. Apparently that's hard to get, but I've never heard of it, and it has pretty good ratings on Untapped. I haven't checked into it yet because I haven't actually had a sip. I was going to show you guys sort of what people were saying about it, but I don't know if you can see that, if that'll focus in. No. Well, it's got a pretty good rating, 4.3 out of 5. People are happy with it. I'll make my judgment call in a second when I have a sip, but I've yet to do that. So, I have a pretty shoddy streaming setup because you can see my streaming program overlapping my game, but that's okay. I'm not worried. So let's give this a sip. It is a pale ale, and yeah, as advertised, it's supposed to be pretty good on this hops. It's with Citra hops, and I don't know, you can't tell from the camera, but the head on it is so fine, as if you're drinking from a nitrogen tap. It's got that smoothness to it, and the hops really come out. I'm more of a double IPA guy, and I don't know. Single IPAs can often be pretty harsh with the hops. This is a single. It's not even an IPA, it's a pale, but it's pretty loud on the hops. But I like the smoothness of it, So it's a pretty good balance. I'm not going to tell you guys what I gave it because I don't trust my own judgment, and you'll yell at me if I tell you. But if it makes it any consolation, I like it. So, and that's Pseudo Sue by what is it? Toppling Blythe Brewer. And the light just got really weird on the stream, but that's okay. I'll just duck. Maybe it'll correct. Yeah? No? Maybe? Okay, whatever. Let's get back to this. Okay, so spoilers, I actually don't have much material, so I actually do need to go and get some. So let's go gather. I'll tell you about these before I leave. Let me unselect my tool so I don't do anything stupid. And so this is a, let's see, I'll show you what it is. It's a sifter, so you can give it giant chunks of dirt. And by crafting once, there, now my loot tab is selected. You get a bag of ore as advertised. So if I go to my inventory and then open that up, you get one single ore. So I don't like the trade-off of one ore, which remember you need 100 ore to make one ingot. To take 3,000 dirt to do that is, I don't know, pretty terrible. So hopefully they fix that, make it a little more appealing, even if it was just like 9 or 10 or something to get me closer, a little more value towards one ingot, because you, like I said, you need 10, 30 ingots to do one thing, and that's a lot of dirt. You use dirt for all sorts of stuff. So there are gems too, but that's another type of material. Like you have metal to make ingots, you can get gems to there's no ingots for gems, but you need it for certain crafting. So alright, anyway, that's a sifter. This was a well, is a saw table, which is more for wood things. You do need to make planks for several crafts. And as you can see here, there's a progression for wood crafting tables as well. So the copper reinforced saw table like this was actually the first tier. I went ahead and made the tin one, and that allowed me to make marble, which let me make the other forge that I showed you earlier. And this has some other things to make, like pictures or pillows. I can go show you a pillow in a second to give you an idea how they look. But this is actually able to start making gear. And let me move this a little sec. Click here. You can wear gear to give you stats. So I decided to use a light stone because it gets kind of dark, and something that gives me a bit more chance of finding more rare resources, which are a bitch to get. So, alright. And these are the different pickaxes. I have a bunch on here because the founder's pickaxe is what you get for being an early adopter. It actually acts as an axe as well, and it's faster than the basic axe. I can't make the better one yet, which is over on the marble forge. You need to be able to get gold, and I don't have the right pickaxe for that yet, so alright. Anyway, you get the idea. So before I go out and gather, I should actually make a shopping list of sorts so I know what I'm looking for. So I'm going to take the push to talk button off here for a second, and while I think about this list. So 1 second. Sorry, I just had a sip and I was like, is that mango? So I looked at the bottle and said, yeah, you're supposed to taste citrus and mango afterwards. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty distinct mango, and I don't know if they actually use any, so pretty cool. Anyway. I can actually put the list here for you to see what I'm doing. I'll actually simplify this later, but I just want to get this simple stuff in here first. And it doesn't matter if I get the gold axe stuff right now because I can't get gold anyway, so I really just need that next pick. I might be able to do this emerald thing, so I'll put that down. Maybe this too, but yeah, good. That's some painful stuff. 8,000 ingots. Ingots come pretty fast, but 8,000 is still a lot. And the elemental tungsten is kind of a rare drop from a node, and they're not. You might get 3 if you're lucky from one node. So I'm not making it sound very bad, but it gets pretty frustrating. I don't know if I can actually harvest those gems yet. Well, I definitely should be able to harvest the amethyst because I need it for the next pick, but I don't know about the emeralds. So there's actually grappling hooks, which is funny. I can't make this one yet because I don't have the gold, but I have the bronze one. I'll show that to you guys in a second. So if you use the G button, sorry, the G is for the grid, which is something I will show you a different time. E uses the grappling hook, and it helps you get to places that you might normally not be able to get to. So this is how I was able to get up to my, whoops. I'm bad, I guess. I think I just screwed myself putting that lip on the end of that. Anyway. So as you may have seen, there's different tiers to the metals. You can see it on the tooltip there. This is tier 2, tier 3, etc. This inventory grid has every ore available, even if you don't have it, but it's sort of nice to just have the slot available for where they go. So you can see I have that much tungsten and I need 8,000, so I've got plenty to do. If I scroll down, I can find the elemental stuff. I have 3 tungsten, which is sad. And I don't have any of the gems needed, so I've got work to do. I have a good amount of burled wood. In fact, I think I might be done with it. But it doesn't matter anyway because I need a lot of regular wood still, so I've got a lot to do. So because there are tiers, you actually have to go to a appropriate section. So that's another thing to talk about. You're put into an instance, and each instance has tiers. I decided to choose a tier 1 area just because, I don't know, that's where I started. But we need to go venture to a tier 2/3 area. So tier 3 is going to have stuff we can't get. So I'm thinking I might go to a tier 2 area just so I can have a better chance of finding what I want. We're just going to go over and take a look at this guy's place. So this thing is something that founders get. It lets you access your vault if you have a different vault in a different area. You can just use this to connect all of your vaults together. So otherwise you would have to go to the different area to your different claim and access your vault there to get the stuff in that vault. This allows you to connect those. I think you can do that later anyway, but this gives you it right away. Huh, that tree looks kind of neat. I think it's actually just 2 trees though. I see another guy's thing in the distance there, but let's just get out to where we're going. I'm also eating pita chips. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. I had someone join me, so I'm gonna go show them what I built. It's pretty meager, so I'm warning you in advance. Get that in a second. So, it's tough to tell with this highlighting over my property, but yeah, like I was saying, the stuff on the ground is just props that you build, and that helps you get to the next tier of things. I just made this tower thingy to present my flag, and I was thinking about making a cabin, which is pretty roughshod still. And there's a pillow that I made that I was talking about earlier. I don't have a tool yet to do that, but I think eventually you can make a straight line instead of just this cubic thing going on. But I was thinking about making this eventually more L-shaped. And because I have all this vertical space to use, potentially doing something like a tower or a treehouse or something. So, and then I can go down too if I wanted to. Let's see, I don't know if you can tell, but it goes pretty far, so I could have like a dungeon or something too if I wanted to, and they would actually let me reclaim all of the dirt underneath me. This is just scrap that I was showing off with. Let me get rid of it. So here's a good example. I just accidentally deleted that, so I'll hit Control Z, and it's back. So yeah, I do want to do more, Colin, but no alpha giveaway. Sorry, I don't have any keys to give away, even if I wanted to. I am showing everything off. Oh god. I am a bad Twitch streamer. What can I say? So I'm just gonna go to somewhere tier 3 so I can, or tier 2, sorry, so I can get some materials. So if you're not into gathering, watching people gather, I would suggest probably watching something else at this point because it's going to be boring. Take a look at this. I have all of that to get still, so it's going to be a while. I don't even know if I'm going to finish getting it tonight. I'll probably get bored. I think they really need to do something about the amount of work to do here, just to get to the next thing. I mean, this is kind of a combination of 3 things to build, but even then, it's pretty ridiculous. Like, if I want to build it all and get anywhere in the game at the same time, it's going to take forever. It just kind of takes the wind out of your sails. So I moved to this other place, the knoll. Huh, I see they redid the claim thing again, and I actually like this pretty nice now. It's very obvious where the claims are. Hey, thanks, the only one guild. Whoops, still too close to the spire. I don't need iron. As you can see, the music is super awesome in this. Okay, there's no music, so let me put some music on. Okay. If that's too loud, let me know. you can actually see what you want to go gather. So since I need tungsten, I believe I'm looking for green splotches, so I'm going to go over here and look. Or right in front of my face. So as you can see, this is pretty slow. This could be improved, I think, but they're probably worried about balance issues and getting through stuff too fast. Hopefully when the game comes out, the actual Everquest Next game, they relax some of this stuff, because people are going to ignore this with a vengeance if they have to wait this long to get stuff done. And there's gold, which I can't get, so I still have no more tungsten. Think? I don't need that stuff. So I was gonna say that song doesn't match my station so much, the Goa stuff. I should really pick a different push to talk button. believe that's iron. Yep. I wish it was a nighttime out. It's so hard to see. That might be what no, that's just grass. Maybe do stuff over here, maybe I'll try that. Auto run. Did I pass it? Was it an artifact of poor texturing? Hold on, the song's not very good either. Okay, we'll give that a try. Nope. Oh god, is that a giant cliff? Yes. Oh man, that system is so good. So when I claimed my land, I did not have this. And this is so freaking obvious where you can claim now, so this is a really good system now. I'm just gonna run because I don't see anything. So since I have a lot to do here, well, after this node I'll show you just how much I have so you can see the progress, and then I think I'll wrap it up for this round. I'll probably check back in once I actually have all the stuff I need for the next tier, which might take me a while, so I'll spare you the details. So give me a second here. It's a pretty beefy node here. Okay, and then I'm at gold, so I can't get it. So, in that time frame, I was able to get a little over 1,000 tungsten, and I still have to get to 8,000. And when it comes to elemental, I have 9 more than before, so still 68 to go. So, got a lot of work to do. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll probably keep streaming here, but I'm gonna stop it for a second so I can clip the stream, and then I'll tune in next time with some more Everquest and a different beer. I figure that's a pretty cool thing to have a conversation about if anyone's around. But or we can leave it in the comments if I put this on YouTube. Talk about the beer, give me other suggestions for beer. I'm out in the Midwest, so if it's something on the West Coast or East Coast, I can't get it, but clearly anything like, or if it's in the Midwest or you want me to have it from a place I can't get it, I'm willing to trade, but it has to be when it's warmer, which is getting there. But right now, the weather's a little too shaky still for me to trade yet, so that's a different topic. But yeah, I'll tune in next time. If you are interested and want to see more, subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, and like, share, whatever, tell your friends. Alright, and I'll talk to you later.